Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the government seems blindly determined to normalize relations with the Iranian regime, I wonder whether the Minister of Foreign Affairs is aware of the latest poisonous utterances by the regime's supreme leader. Yesterday, on International Holocaust Day, Ayatollah Khamenei posted a video on his website questioning the slaughter of 6 million Jews by the Nazis. Does the minister really believe he can engage in a meaningful dialogue with a regime that not only denies history but regularly calls for the destruction of Israel?
Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you to the honourable member who I had the pleasure of meeting last night at the Parl-Americas conference, where our diplomacy was in fine form. As Minister Dion has stated, Canada needs to engage on the international stage. I apologize for mentioning the minister's name. As the minister has stated, Canada needs to engage on the international stage much more than before. Engagement takes different forms, and in our case, it doesn't mean that we agree with all of Iran's policies by any stretch, but it is a pathway towards economic opportunity and dialogue and possibly regional security, and we are not going to give up.
This is a good chance to remind those who give advice to Parliamentary secretaries or those drafting questions to refer to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and not to the name of the minister, but I'm glad the member noted that as she replied. Member for Thornhill.
Well, Mr. Speaker, given the government's these vague intentions to end sanctions against Iran, it's time for some specific answers. Which of Canada's 24 prohibitions against the Iranian regime does the government plan to lift? Given new U.S. sanctions provoked by Iran's ballistic missile tests, will Canada now look the other way as Iran works on a weapon aimed at Israel? And finally, Mr. Speaker, does the government really intend to delist Iran as a state sponsor of terrorism?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much for the question. We are absolutely currently reviewing our sanctions against Iran, and as part of this review, we are exercising rigor in ensuring that any changes do not open the door to trade in proliferation-sensitive goods and services, of course. However, we are acting in concert with our allies, like the UN, like the United States, like Europe. We feel it's an important signal. Our foreign policy is based on talking, something which the opposition was not that good at in the past. Thank you.